Well, look who's here now. President Trump's chief economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, joining me from the White House. Kevin, welcome back to the show. Always good to see you. Now, key question.
Great to be here too, of course, yeah.
If and when this bill passes, I'm assuming it will pass at some point, what growth rate can we expect for the economy in the second half of the year? I hear talk of 3% growth, maybe more. What say you?
Right. I say that if you look at the Council of Economic Advisors Chairman Steve Myron's modeling of what happens if we pass this tax bill, then conservatively, you're looking at very steady 3% growth going forward. If you add 3% to the 1.8% that's in the Congressional Budget Office forecast, then that means that over 10 years you get $4 trillion more revenue from 3% growth than the current CBO forecast. And so what that means is that this tax bill basically pays for itself if we get 3% growth. I think we're going to get more than 3% growth because something you've covered a lot, Stu, is that the AI productivity revolution is underway. Firms are getting more and more productive because AI is helping their workers be more productive. And there's a scholar at Stanford, Eric Brynjolfsson, who has a study out that suggests that that could increase productivity growth by 1.5% even to 2% a year. If we get that, then you're looking at 4% growth, which I think is an upside that's completely possible. And so, yeah, I think that the 1.8% CBO score is very, very conservative, and so fiscal hawks should be ambitious because they understand that, look, last time we said we get 3% growth, and we did. This time we're saying it, and we've got like some extra juice because of AI. So I'm very comfortable with 3.
Is this the argument that Speaker Johnson is applying to the deficit hawks? Look, the deficit will be taken care of by 3-4% growth just down the road. That's Speaker Johnson's argument, right?
Well, I think that he's got different arguments for different people. You know, there are a lot of strong opinions on all sides, a lot of respected friends who disagree. And the thing that I'm just amazed at is that Speaker Johnson has been able to get all those cats in a room and herd them together to a very, very likely big victory for the big, beautiful bill. Probably could even start tonight, get it to the floor.
That will be good. Next one, Kevin. Where do we stand on trade deals? The last we heard that we were getting close to 20 deals, and we were promised that these deals would be announced soon, but why no announced deals yet?
Well, first, there's a lot going on in the world, as you know, and there's been a lot of focus over the last couple of days in the White House on getting the House bill through. That pretty much almost the whole White House team was up working with Speaker Johnson yesterday. As you know, the president was on the Hill. But I was in the Oval yesterday with Howard Lutnick and Jamieson Greer going over some of the next steps. And I'm highly confident that you'll see a handful of new deals over the next 2 weeks. And Lutnick and the president are still finalizing the details, but they're so close that I feel like we're very close to having some more announcements, and there's probably a handful of near-term announcements.
It occurs to me that foreign countries negotiating these deals, they know that we need a deal soon to be announced. So they've got some leverage because we want deals announced quickly. Am I right?
I don't think that that's the way I think about it. I think that the fact that we've already got really good deals and an agreement means that it puts pressure on people to get in before the 90-day deadline to make sure that the reciprocal tariffs stay down at 10%. And I just got to say, the extent to which countries around the world are opening up their markets to our products in these deals that I've been briefed on is astonishing. It's something I've never expected, that you'd be able to sell beef in the UK, for example, good, healthy American beef in the UK. And so I think there's a lot of progress, and you're right that we got to put the progress on the table, but we're very soon to do it. And I wouldn't be saying that if it wasn't true. It's just people have to get to the finish line.
Kevin Hassett always has a smile on his face, and I trust that tomorrow morning or Friday morning, you'll have a smile when the bill gets passed. Kevin, thanks for being with us. We always appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks. Good to see you, Steve.